आम सुंदर हमार यार लखन को जिया लल के
श्याम सुंदर हमारो यार लखन को जिया लल के
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 श्याम सुंदर.
The boat is in the water, but the water is not in the boat. If the water comes in the boat, it'll go down. Likewise, be in the world, but don't let the world be in you. Otherwise, there will be a problem. Then he says, Nirahankaraha, free from egotism. Now, one was the desires that creates disturbance, and the other is the ego or the pride. Kaka Hatrasi was a Hindi humor poet. His classmate from old days came to meet him, and they had a good time catching up. And then Kaka Hatrasi said, let's go and meet our third friend who lives nearby. And this guy said, I don't have proper clothes. Kaka Hatrasi said, I'll get you a nice set from my clothes. He gave him, and the two of them went to meet their third friend. So he introduced, remember, he's so and so, and the clothes he's wearing are mine. Now the friend later on when they left said, you insulted me? What was the need to say that the clothes are yours? I am not going to go with you. He said, I'm so sorry, but we must meet that other person also. This time I promise I will not say this sentence. So they went to meet their next classmate. He again introduced, remember this guy, Ramesh Goenka, and the clothes he is wearing are not mine. Ramesh Goenka said, why did you say anything about the clothes at all? It just creates suspicion. So I said, okay, give me one more chance. We have to meet the fourth guy. Now they went there and he introduced him. And he said, remember, we are all classmates and I'm not going to say anything about his clothes. So this is all the ego. All of us are big balls of ego. Only problem is we don't realize it. In the Midwest, right in a remote area, was an inn. And it had the name of the inn was Six Bells. One traveler stopped there and he started speaking to the owner. The owner explained how business is doing so badly. The traveler said, Are, you don't know divine wisdom. I'll tell you a gimmick. You tie out there 5 bells. So the owner said, but the name of my inn is Six Bells. That is all right. You just tie 5 bells there. So he tried a string of 5 bells. Now one traveler came. He said, 6 bells, 5 bells. So he went in and told the innkeeper, look, I think you need to make a correction. You have got only 5 bells. You should tie 6 bells. So now every traveler was coming and telling him what to do. Their ego was getting assuaged. His business was thriving. This ego of ours, which is so natural in the Maya-dhin state, Sri Krishna says that the devotees, they get rid of it. Jab मैं था, तब हरि नहीं. अब हरि है, मैं नाही. Prem gali ati sankari yame dvaina samahi. The street of divine love is so narrow, it will not house two personalities. Either keep your ego or keep God. If you say, I want to keep God and the ego, they will not fit. So that is why this ego must be eliminated. And if we don't, God will arrange for its elimination. We hear that even great saints, if they developed ego, God did something to crush it. It was in the year 1911 that engineers in England, Ireland, they came up with the idea of making a huge ship that would be like a mini city. And the hull of the Titanic was made over many months. And then it was brought down the river to the seaside. The ship was finally constructed over many more months. It had a double hull for security with 16 watertight compartments, and the closures could be done with switches from above. And it had many pools, etc. The Titanic was the talk of all of Europe. The scientists, engineers, architects, they firmly believed even God cannot sink this ship. So, on its first voyage from Europe to America, all the royalty, the wealthiest business people of Europe, they all purchased tickets. So much has been written about what was the menu on the Titanic, what were the clothes worn on the Titanic. It had sailed only 4 days. When at 11:30 at night, the watchman on top, he discovered all of a sudden there was an iceberg in front. And he raised the alarm. And they veered the ship. So they thought they had just grazed the iceberg and gone. But they didn't realize it had a jagged head underneath that had created a 300-foot hole. Unfortunately, they had only 15 lifeboats, and a few of the ladies and children were saved. Next day, when it was announced that the Titanic sinks and 1,500 people have gone down with it, people could actually not believe it. Big lessons have been taken from it. God shattered the pride like in the 1970s, the Voyager, Challenger, also overconfidence of the scientists was all shattered. So this pride is when we forget God. That is when we become proud. Hence, the word ego is acronym for edging God out. And a devotee is mindful of the glory of God and thinks, what am I in His presence? If you are far from Mission Hill, you will think it is also 6 feet, I am also 6 feet. Barabar ka hisab hai. And when you go right close there, you say, where is this Mission Hill and where am I? Likewise, if your consciousness is far from God, you will say, theek hai, Shri Krishna bhi theek hai, smart man, but I'm also something. So devotee understands the reality, and that is why they live in that reality. There's the story of the wealthy man who came to Kabirji, and he was glorifying the big house he had. The Kabirji said, let's make a map of Kashi. And in that map, he said, where is the locality where you live? So it was a dot in the map. And where is the house in this? He said, it's a dot inside the dot. This is what you are proud about. You are proud that you made a dot in the dot and the Supreme Lord has made this whole of creation. Then further, he says, Sama Dukkha Sukha. A devotee is equipoised in Sukh and Dukh. So, how does equipoise come? We try to adjust our circumstances. अरे भाई Santa Clara में मजा नहीं आया. If I live in Milpitas, I'll find peace. Or somebody says, no, I made a wrong choice to live in US. If I go to India, I'll find peace. The person in India is saying, if I come to US, I'll find peace. How do you find peace? It is like one orchestra party was practicing in the hall, and by the side, the backside stage, the carpenter was doing his repair. Here they are practicing their music, there he is doing thoka thaki. Once he hit hard, and then he looked at the orchestra director, and the orchestra director looked at him. So then he continued ha 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 ha. But when it became too loud again, he looked, and again they looked, their eyes met. When this happened 3-4 times, the carpenter said, don't worry, carry on, you're not disturbing me, carry on. So what is disturbing us? We are thinking the world is disturbing us. Sri Krishna has a different perspective. He says the disturbance is inside of you. That disturbance, if you can settle it, then no matter where you are, you will be at peace. And that will be the real peace. You know, my ideal of peace is that bull that sits on the Delhi Agra road on that ridge in between. And a 14-wheeler is going from here and a 14-wheeler from there, and the bull is completely peaceful. You take care to miss my legs that are coming out. My God, how can it be so peaceful? But that peace comes from wisdom. That peace comes when you have learned to resolve what is important in this world, what is unimportant. And then that kind of peace nobody can take away from you. If you have decided your real wealth is the inner purity, then if somebody is disturbing you, you are helping me purify. निंदक नियरे राखिए आंगन कुटी छबाए नित साबुन पानी बिना निर्मल करे सुभाए. Kshami, the devotee is ever forgiving. So the devotees, they never think of punishing others. You cheated me, it's not my job to punish. I'll leave you in God's hands. Let him do what he likes. I've got better things to do. I will not waste my time settling scores. This freedom from the desire to punish others is a quality of the devotees. Verse number 14. Santushtah satatam yogi
Santushtaha satatam yogi
yatatma dridha nishchayah
yatatma dridha nishchayah
Mayi arpita mano buddhi
Mayarpita mano buddhi
yo mad bhakta same priyah.
Yomat bhakta same priyah.
Translation: those devotees are very dear to me who are ever content, steadily united with me in devotion, self-controlled, of firm resolve, and dedicated to me in mind and intellect. So he is continuing with his description of the qualities of devotees. And he says a devotee who is contented is dear to me. Contentment doesn't come from increasing your possessions. It comes from decreasing your wants. Satu bhavati daridri yasya trishna vishala. Who is poor? This Bhartri Hariji Maharaj says the person who's got many desires. Manasi cha paritushte korthavan ko daridra. And one who has learnt the art of contentment is no longer poor. You have 60 sets of clothes, but your desire says only 60. After 2 months I have to repeat. And another person has got 3 sets, wash one, wear one, iron one. He says, what else do I need? So he is not poor because he is not feeling any deficiency. Now, what is making us feel deficiency? Comparisons. You have got everything. But the moment you start comparing, you say, oh, he went for a cruise to Alaska, I did not. Now the misery begins. That's why the old American president Theodore Roosevelt said, comparison is the thief of joy. In bhakti, it is the same thing. People do bhakti, taking the name of God is grace, getting knowledge is grace, but then they start comparing. My guru looked at that person and he did not look at me. Oh my God, I'm deprived of all grace. The grace that the whole universe wants, we have it, but we are not contented. This mind set of contentment is very dear to God. Satatam yogi. Yogi, the word yog means union. Union of the mind. If your mind is in God, you are in yoga and you are a yogi. He says those who are satatam, who always keep their mind in me, are very dear to me. And yatatma, self-controlled. A thief went into somebody's house. That man had 2 wives. So the thief saw the drama going on at night. One wife was pulling the husband, come here. The second was pulling, come here. And the thief started laughing. Now he was caught. They called the police. The police said, you bad man, you came here to steal, we'll punish you. Thief said, Kotwal Sahab, give me any punishment, but not the punishment that this man is getting. The Devahuti tells Kapil that I have got 5 south, the 5 senses. These 5 senses are looting the soul. One says, see this, the other says, hear this, the third says, touch this. Each of these senses has the ability to drag away the mind. The moment the mind starts focusing, there must be happiness here, gone. So, the need to be self-controlled. A yogi, a devotee is like the tortoise who's able to pull the senses in. Because these senses are such, you give them an inch, they will want a mile. Those who have got chemical addictions, you ask them, how did it happen? Arey Swamiji, first few puffs, we never thought we'd reach here. But we only realized when it was too late. So, the best time to give up an addiction is before it grabs you. And that is why a devotee is careful to keep on beating the senses and keeping them under control. So, yatatma is self-controlled and drida nishchaya. Drida nishchaya, devotees who are firm in resolve. Nowadays, psychologists have got a new word called grit. Grit is your inner strength. And they have discovered this is the essential quality for success. You know, the United States Military Academy is considered even higher than Harvard in terms of the selection criteria because you need recommendation from two senators and all your scores from 8th grade onward are required. You must be the school captain in some sport, etc. Finally, out of a huge number of applicants, about 1400 are selected. And in the first 8 weeks, they are subject to a program called the Beast, which, as the name suggests, is extremely difficult. And at the end of the Beast, 25% of the students fall out. And the psychologists could not figure out. 4 years they were trying, and then 8 weeks they dropped out. What made them drop out compared to those who continued? Was it that the physically stronger ones continued, or the more intelligent, or the less intelligent? And finally, Angela Duckworth cracked it, saying there is an inner quality called grit, your inner strength. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. This is the one quality you need in life. Because nobody starts at the top, you always start here. And the journey to success is always fraught with failures. Do you have the ability to get up every time you fall down? That is what will require grit. Sri Krishna says, those people who have the firm resolve, they are very dear to me.